Hiya. Yesterday, it was Remembrance Day, thinking of the liberation of the concentration camp at Auschwitz. I was born after the war, some years back after the war, and we were talking about this. There were still raw memories in people's minds about the war and the suffering and the injustice and the abominations. And it's good to remember. It's good to remember so that we try not to do things again. History is very, very important. You have to learn about history so you know exactly. And nowadays, there are lots of fake news, there are lots of distortion of history, and I want to encourage you to seek the truth, because as the Bible says, the truth shall set you free. But there's something else. They are truth, they are abominations that are hidden from sight. Yesterday, there were lots of celebrations and remembrance ceremonies. People talked about the Shoah. People talked about Rwanda. People talked about Darfour and the Sudan. But there were some places that were not mentioned. The Armenian genocide has been hidden and shut up and hushed because some countries don't want to recognize it. And the worst of all is the Biafran genocide. No matter what, as an academic, I've been reading books talking about, yes, there was a genocide, no, there was not a genocide, depending whose side you were at the time. But do you know that up till today, 2020, the Biafran War, that was a war of independence, a country that existed for 3 years and that was recognized by 5 independent countries, has not been taught in Nigerian books and curricula. Young Nigerians are reading, studying, growing up, not even knowing that there was a war in their country just 50 years ago, and that there are many witnesses. And because people say not only Ozoimena, let this not happen again, Ozoimena, it doesn't mean that you have to shut up and pretend as if nothing happened. I know people whose families have been decimated by the war. When I was there in 1972, I remember there was a widow with 8 kids. The first one was just starting university, and she said how during the war the soldiers came in their village and killed her husband in front of the whole family, and she was left to fend for herself and the children. They used to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, prepared akara, snacks, and then go and sell them in the morning before going to school and attending classes. And she used to say how the husband was coming every night. That's the dead husband visiting her every night to guide her. I know somebody who's so affected that without medication he would go berserk. I know somebody else that continues shouting genocide whenever he's alone. You think that nothing happened? You can deny all the pictures, all the reports from independent journalists and war reporters. You can deny all the missionaries' reports about burying kids, tens and tens and tens of them every day, because they were killed by kwashiorkor and hunger and disease, because their country was locked up. and not even relief planes allowed in broad daylight. You don't deny the truth. You can try and cover it up, it will still come out. One day, there will be reckoning. And what about abortions that killed more kids every day than Hitler in all the years of war? Don't deny the truth. And remember, if you don't protect life, your own life is in danger. When they finish killing others, they will come for you. Please, I beg you, don't forget, don't deny, don't hush up. Tell the truth and recognize there's nobody that is perfect. Everybody can make fault, errors, and even the worst of it all, and be forgiven. Please, tell the truth. I met an Armenian man that was so destroyed by the Armenian genocide, and he used to go from conference to conference and tell about it. We need to remember. We need to heal the memory of the atrocities so that they don't happen again. Thank you.